may even say Grand Portage is where the Great White North starts. But the Gunflint Trail, starting a little bit west of here, travels to points northwest of both Grand Portage National Monument and, you guessed it, Thunder Bay. It started with hardy cabins like this robust pioneer log house. Big Sag, as it's called, is at the end of the Gunflint Trail. I took my father's boat out this morning for one last exploration. I wrote that on October 3rd, 2011. My dad had already taken me to the western part of the lake, so today I went east. Well, first, north to the Canadian side, so I could see the foreign land. Soon I crossed back over to the Minnesota side, and eventually I came upon Campers Island. It's in the Superior National Forest, so the Forest Service maintains a primitive campsite on it. My father had told me every winter someone erects a base camp, wall tent, etc., and lives there all winter long. When I was back at my dad's place, I docked the boat, and he said he wanted to bring the boat in for the season. I said, hold that thought. I want to go camping. Made sure he had camping gear for me to borrow. Of course he did. So there I was on my way to Campers Island with dog, tent, and gear for one last adventure of the year. It had been a pretty tumultuous year for me, leaving Kentucky, moving back to Minnesota for almost 20 years. It took me a while to acclimate to this northern woods. But back to my dad's dock, earlier, just as I was finishing up loading the gear, another boat went by filled with people going in the direction of Campers Island. My dad said, I hope they're not going to Campers Island, which was a very likely possibility. What do? I quickly finished up and fired up the motor. My dad's boat looks like the average fishing boat, but it's actually powered by an outboard motor with a 50 horsepower. I merely sped out to the center of the lake, widely giving them a berth, passed them up without them even knowing I was going anywhere, had my campsite picked up, set up, and then finally the other boat came chugging by. They beached at the mainland across from the island, near another U.S. Forest Service campsite. It was adjacent to Bridle Falls, a popular hiking trail in the area. I wondered if I had grabbed the campsite that they were hoping for. Although there's only one fire grate, which defines the official campsite, the island is big enough to handle multiple parties. However, before I'd even got dinner started, the party must have completed their hike to Bridle Falls because they returned back to their resort. Oh God, the sunsets were beautiful. I only took 2 pictures, but I tell you, I didn't need to take any more. I kind of wish I did now. The next morning, after a really good night's sleep, I was a little congested, so I coughed. And surprisingly, I was answered with a response out in the bay. It was an otter floating on his back 20 feet offshore. Okay, the response was more of a gurgle and a spit, and he did flash around a bit. I think he might have waved. Went back under. He resurfaced and started playing around again. Otters. These photographs were taken back in October 2011, but this log had been carved by previous parties. And obviously, they love Camper's Island as much as I do. This pile of rocks was exactly as I found it. Don't really know the purpose, don't have a story about it, but I did snap a picture. This was filmed on location in Minnesota's Arrowhead region, specifically Thompson Hill and Duluth, Highway 61, Gooseberry Falls State Park, Grand Portage National Monument, the Gunflint Trail, the Gunflint Pines Resort had the Moosehead, and of course Superior National Forest. Well, this is pretty much the end of the movie, but the song is still going on, and it's so much fun. I'm just gonna play the movie again 4 times fast. Hope it's enjoyable. I'll try to narrate along as it goes by, but I don't have a lot of confidence. You know, I'm not even going to try. Love this place.